It's Beer O'Clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we got a beer from Maisel and Friends, and it's a bottle of their Scotch Bock Barrel Aged 2019, coming in at 8.1% ABV. There's a look at the label. It's a 750ml bottle. There's the cap, there's the sticker. You might have seen my previous video where I was very careful with the sticker. I don't think this one, this one's not going to come off. So we'll leave that on for the thumbnail of the video. We'll just rip that. Beer in the glass then. We've got a 2-finger, slightly off-white head, good levels of carbonation. It's a slightly hazy, amber coloured beer. Looks terrific, really does. It's unfiltered as well. If you have a close look at the bottom of the glass, past my moustache and beard, around that area, where the beer is lightest, you might see the sediment floating around in the glass. Let's get the aroma. I think they used a very similar barrel. Might be even the same barrel as they did with the, well, I called it a barley wine. That was terrific. It was 13% ABV. I reckon quite cleverly, and I'm going to take a wild stab at this. So if you're all watching at Maisel and Friends, here's my wild stab, my little bit of detective work on this beer and how it was brewed. I think you used the barrels first and foremost on the 13% ABV beer. I think them barrels were really wet with whiskey. And what you did, you put the beer in and it kind of went up to 13% ABV, and you're like, wow. So what happens is the whiskey's soaked back from the wood in the barrels, it's soaked back into the beer, and then it raises the ABV, all them lovely kind of flavours come through. I'll link to the beer in the description box. I did it a few days ago now, and yeah, I'll write it all. I'll put the link in the description box for the 13% ABV, 750ml bottle of Maisel and Friends. I call it a barley wine, barrel aged barley wine. Yeah, so going back to it, what they'd done then, I think they took the beer, that 13% beer, they took it back out to the barrels, they bottled it, and they realised because the barrels were so wet, they could use them again. You can use a barrel for barrel aging, I think, off the top of my head, about 4 times before really not much happens. So they've reused the barrels. How can I tell? Well, there's that smokiness, that kind of whiskey smoke, but it's not as prominent, it's not as in your face. It's like a toned down version. It's like a second-hand version of the barrels. By all means, I mean that is still a fantastic way of barrel aging. I would even say this could be an improved version, because what I found with the barley wine was it was quite prominent with whiskey and smoky flavours. Because this is the second time round, it might be a little bit more. It's like trying to use a tea bag for the second time. It's a little bit more, well, it's a lot more kind of chilled out, and you're not getting so much tea out of the bag. Do you get what I mean, guys? Are you with me on this? Comment if you're with me. Let's dive in. Cheers. Oh. Oh, my goodness me, stone the crows. Stone the crows. What a terrific beer this is. I reckon this bock originally was brewed to about 6% ABV. 6.5 maybe. They put it in the barrel. It's taken some of that kind of whiskey, that ABV, that alcohol by volume, and it's knocked it from 6.1% up to 8.1%. I reckon that would be my ballpark guess if we were to carry on with the detective work. What a splendid beer. Carbonation pushes the beer around the inside of the mouth, releases more of that flavour. That is amazing. It's woody, vanilla, peat smoked whiskey. Drinkability is in between fantastically drinkable and a medium mouthfeel. I'll show you that medium mouthfeel now as I rock the beer back and forth. Look at the carbonation chasing the liquid, chasing the head of the glass. That's a sign of the struggle, the carbonation struggling to get through the liquid back up to the head. There's a lag of about a second, half a second. Look at that. Wonderful, absolutely wonderful. This is, I'm going to come out and say it, this is one of the best beers that Maisel and friends have ever brewed. This is just tremendous liquid. It's nutty, biscuity, bready. It's a little bit of that kind of German yeast flavoured in there, a little bit of kind of pear, green pear. Oh, it's tremendous. And it's giving me a little bit of a warm inside the pit of the stomach now as well, as the beer's going down. So, quite contrasting beer reviews. What I plan to do, I plan to post these beers side by side, one day, the next day. Because I want you to see the difference between the 13.1% ABV beer, which we would have posted yesterday now, if we're talking about this schedule, and this beer, which is 8.1%. I'm always honest with my beer reviews. I said in that review that the 13.1% ABV, the whiskey, the peat, it was all too much for me. It was all, the magnitude of it all was too much. It was too much kind of flavour, and I don't like whiskey. This is a touch, a taste of whiskey. This is more about the beer rather than more about the whiskey. And I'm sure the guys at Maisel and friends, they won't mind at all me being completely honest, because what I said was, if you love whiskey, you would love this beer. On the other hand, in today's review, if you love beer more than you love whiskey, you will love this beer. Really interesting. I've really enjoyed this barrel age series from Maisel and friends because I think I've unpicked the lock. I think I've kind of worked out how they did this whole kind of barrel age project, with me being 400-500 miles over in the UK and not in Germany. And that's not me being cocky, that's not me going, I know exactly, I know everything about beer, that type of thing. That's just me being able to do that, to have the kind of knowledge to, I'm quite excited by that, to be honest, for the fact that I've kind of worked it back, the brewing process. It's been quite fun, it's been quite novel, it's been quite not just another beer review. What a tremendous beer though. Malty, sticky, peated kind of whiskey smoke. Oh, what a beer this is. It's all in German, so if you want to have a little read of the back of the bottle, if you want to pause the video now and have a read, there you go. And that's kind of it. Lovely body, lovely bit of sweetness to begin with, lovely peaty, smoky, bitter, hoppy kind of finish on the back end. Not too overly kind of bitter and hoppy on the back end. This is more about the whiskey infusion, the peated smoke whiskey infusion. the woodiness of the barrel, the vanilla, the touch of licorice. Tremendous stuff. Tremendous. Rating. I don't even think I rated the 13% ABV, what I call the barley wine beer from Maisel, because I just thought it was unfair because I didn't like whiskey. But I am going to rate this one, and I'm going to give it a Stone the Crows 10 out of 10. So 10 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box, subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews, give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom! Cheers!